gonna regret this. Get out of my class. So this kid sprains his leg during soccer practice. Doctor gives him crutches, a note, clear instructions. But his teacher, she never liked him. She thinks he's dramatic, thinks he's lazy. He walks into class on crutches, and she just stares at him. You don't need those. Stop milking it. He tries to explain, but she just cuts him off. If you want attention, do it on your own time. Give me those. She takes his crutches and locks them into a cabinet. He stares at her, calm, and just says, "You're gonna regret this." And for the rest of the day, he walks all day on his hurt leg. He doesn't ask for help. He's not complaining. He's limping. He winces, but he keeps moving. Well, that night, his leg is on fire. The next morning, he's back at the doctor. It's worse now. He has a hairline fracture because he was walking on it so much because the teacher took his crutches. Oh, it's about to get bad for this teacher. The next morning, he walks into class again with crutches, a medical boot now, and another doctor's note. He doesn't sit. He doesn't yell. Just stands in front of the whole class and says, "So I watched the rest of the day like you told me to?" Well, turns out that refractured my injury. I'll be on crutches another 6 weeks now, so thank you for that. The whole class is silent. She tries to speak, but the door opens and the principal walks in. "Hi, Miss Harding. I need to speak with you. Please bring your things." She freezes. Then she grabs her stuff and heads towards the hallway. And she walks out. She doesn't come back the next day. Or the day after that. She was fired. Karma's a So one day in 7th grade, this kid got called into the principal's office. He had no idea why. He walks in, sits down, and the principal just stared at him. The principal asks, "So, you want to tell me what you did?" The kid's confused. "I have no idea what you're talking about." That's when the teacher walks in, and she looks pissed. "Don't play dumb, you know exactly what you did." Now the kid's kind of panicking. "I swear I don't know, what did I do?" "You skipped my class yesterday, but I know you were at school because I saw you before and after lunch." "What were you doing?" "Huh? Probably something illegal." But here's the thing. He was literally in her class yesterday. "No, I wasn't. I was in class. I was sitting on my usual seat." "You're crazy. I took attendance, and you were not there. Detention." Now at this point, this kid is super frustrated. He already did not like this teacher. Now she's accusing him of skipping her class for whatever reason. So he asks the principal one simple question. "You have security cameras in every hallway, right?" Of course we do, yeah, for the safety of the school." "Then check them." The room goes silent. The teacher grows pale because she knows she messed up. They send the kid to sit outside the office while they looked at the cameras, and 15 minutes later, they called him back in. "We checked the footage. You were in class." "I know." "You can go. I'll handle your teacher." But as he was walking away from the office, he could hear the principal yelling at the teacher. "Now why on God's green earth would you make something like that up?" "Oh, I didn't. I swear." "You better shut your mouth. You're on thin ice. You're on thin ice." This kid slammed the classroom door so hard it cracked. The school called his parents and made them pay $400 to buy a new door. The kid wasn't happy. "You know what? I'm not happy." But him and his family handed over the money. Then weeks go by, then a month. That same cracked door was still attached to the classroom. That's what they used every day. One afternoon, he asked the janitor, "Weren't they gonna replace this door with the money I paid them?" Janitor said, "Oh, I think that money went towards something else." Oh, that ticked him off. The next day, the kid came to school with a drill. His dad's drill. He walked straight up to that damaged door, unscrewed the hinges, picked up the entire thing, and he began walking towards the parking lot. A teacher came running over. What are you doing?" "Listen, I paid for this door. I gave you guys $400. You said you were gonna get a new one. If you're not getting a new one, I'm taking my door." The principal made him put it back. Then the school installed the replacement door the same week. That's honestly hilarious. This school had a zero tolerance rule, and it sounded fair until kids realized what that actually meant. If a fight happened, everybody involved would get the same punishment. Didn't matter who started it, didn't matter who swung first. If you were involved, it was all the same. And on paper, it was supposed to stop the bullying. In reality, it did the opposite. The bullies figured it out fast. They'd corner somebody, shove them, taunt them, and then they would say the same thing. "Go ahead, hit me, loser. You're getting in trouble regardless." But you won't. And the victims, they learned the lesson as well. If they stayed still and took the beating, they'd be punished. If they would fight back, they'd also be punished. It was the same outcome. So something changed. Kids who usually froze stopped freezing. If I'm getting in trouble either way, I'm not holding back. Fights stopped becoming these quick one-sided scuffles. They became explosive, unpredictable. One day, a bully was picking on this kid he normally does. Idiot, loser, freak. And the kid that he was bullying went feral. Shoved him so hard he fell through the classroom window. One fight was so nuts, it took 5 staff members to break it up. And this was all because of the zero tolerance rules. These kids that were picked on were not holding back anymore. They're like, screw this, I'm not taking it if I'm gonna get in trouble as well. The school administration eventually started to panic. The rule meant to stop violence made it more extreme. They then changed the rule back to what it was before this, but it was never really the same after that. That's nuts. This teacher had a candy tax. So one of my subscribers sent me the story. It was period 1 teacher. No food, no drinks allowed, unless it was a water bottle with a lid. But candy? Candy was allowed, with a catch. If you bring candy, I get a cut. And he meant it. There was a jar on his desk. It was a big glass jar and it was labeled candy tax. So if you had candy, you would walk in. Here you go. You would put a few candies in the jar, sit down, and you were free to eat your candy openly throughout the class. Payment received, my boy. Payment received. But if he caught you eating candy without giving him the tax first, he would walk over. I didn't see you pay the tax, young man. Here, too late. It's all mine now. And he would take all the candy you had. For the most part, all the students respected this rule. And honestly, so do I. Gotta pay the candy tax. So you're all just gonna roast me? It's called growth, sweetie. This one mom had a rule for birthdays. No cake, no presents, not until after the truth session. Every year, the birthday kid had to sit in the middle of the living room, while each family member, siblings, parents, sometimes even grandma, went around and shared one thing they did not like about the birthday kid. You interrupt too much. You always finish the milk and leave the carton in the fridge. I hate you, grandson. It was a roast, but it wasn't funny. One year, this kid Daniel, he turned 11. He walked into the living room already nervous. All right, let's begin. First up was his little sister. You yelled at me when I was on your Minecraft world. Then his mom. You've gotten lazy with your posture this year. Then Dad. You've been selfish lately, son. Just think about that. Daniel's eyes start to water. Oh no, don't cry. This is to help you, not to hurt you. You may have your cake now. Go. And he barely touched the cake. The next year, Daniel pretended to be sick on his birthday to try to get out of this whole thing. But the mom just moved the truth session to his room, and they did it bedside. They said it was character building. He said it was the worst tradition of his life. Water's a reward. You don't just get it because you're thirsty. This house is a desert. At this house, water wasn't a right. It was a privilege. Every day after school, this kid had the same rule. No exceptions. Drop your backpack, sit at the table, and do your homework. No TV, no snacks, no water. His mom would say it every day. Water is a reward, not a right. Well, one day he gets home absolutely dying of thirst. He makes a quiet move towards the kitchen. He almost reaches the faucet. Don't even think about it. She's already standing there, arms crossed. Homework first. So he's at the kitchen table, math textbook open, mouth dry as sandpaper, watching the faucet drip, drip, drip. He finishes his homework, he gives it to her. Messy work. Do it again. Bro almost passed out right there. When he finally earned a glass of water, she handed it to him like a prize at a carnival. Here's your water. You did really good. The next day at school, he took extra water fountain breaks because he never knew how his mom would act when he got home from school. This is the dumbest school rule ever. The hallways in this one middle school were in a circle, like this, and the school implemented a one-way hallway system. Students can only walk clockwise down this hallway, and kids would get in trouble if they walked the opposite way. Well, one day this guy was exiting his first class of the day, and his next class was right next door, except it was in the opposite direction of the one-way hallway system. So here's his classroom, here's his next class, and according to the school rules, if he wanted to get to this class, he would still have to walk all the way around the hallway. Well, he thought it was ridiculous. Just this once, he was just gonna walk to his next class. So he did. A teacher saw this.
Kevin, nope, one-way system. You went the opposite way. That's against the rules, and you know that.
Okay, but my first two classes are right next to each other. Why can't I just go in?
No, you know the rules. To the principal's office, okay?
What's the point? What's the point? He went to the principal's office, got a detention, was late for his class, and received the tardy. This will shut down every drinking fountain. for maintenance. All water fountains will be shut down for a week. That's it. But a week turned into 2 weeks, and that turned into a month. Now, the school had banned personal water bottles, and students were not allowed to carry their own drinks around school. So no personal water bottles, no water fountains, but by law, the school was required to provide free water during meal times. So at lunch, they provided jugs with cups, and students could fill up cups of water. But by the time lunch was over, those jugs would disappear. Well, that's when one kid got clever, and he wanted to help out his fellow student. So he bought a pretty good-sized jug off Amazon, one of those water jugs that has a spout. He put the entire thing full of water in his backpack, and he cut a little hole so the spout could come out. So picture this, it was a big backpack with a spout, and that spout would dispense water. During passing periods, he would whisper, "Anyone thirsty? Anyone thirsty? I got water." And the cups he would have were those tiny, like doctor's office cups, and he put those in the side of his backpack. So all students had to do was grab a cup, fill it up, drink it, and toss that cup away, discreetly. And he never charged a single dime. He was doing this just to help students out, because water is necessary. Eventually, the school admin found out what he was doing, and technically it broke the no water bottle rule. But all this kid said was, "If you shut me down, I will tell everybody that you are refusing to give your students water." The admin didn't want the smoke, so they let him continue. But by the next week, the water fountains were opened up again. But you know what? What a good guy. This mom made a complete fool of herself. When this kid was in middle school, his mom had a rule where nobody could wear shoes in their house under any circumstances. Well, this kid's friend had prosthetic legs that had Nikes built onto the feet. Well, this kid had his friend over one day. His mom saw this kid's shoes and yelled at him. She told him to never let it happen again. The next time he had this kid over at his house, they were downstairs in their basement playing video games. The mom comes down there, sees his Nikes, and says this, "Excuse me, why are your shoes on?" Stop, shut up, I am talking right now. What makes you so special that you can have your shoes on while everyone else had to take theirs off in my house, huh? The kid then pulls up his jeans to show his prosthetic legs, and he says this, "Ma'am, if I take my shoes off, I'll have to take my legs off too." I'm so sorry. She then went upstairs and she never brought it up to anyone ever again.